Welcome back, fellow N-Scalers. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Atlas N-Scale 2-truck Shay. So, as you can see, this Shay is very well detailed, and in the fact that all of the cylinders move up and down when it runs. Now, this Shay also comes with a die-cast boiler and an operating drive shaft, as you can see. The box says that its minimum radius is about 9 3/4 inch, and it also has separately applied grab irons. This is a realistic paint scheme for this locomotive, and this happens to be one of a Canadian railway. This is the only Canadian railway you can get with the Atlas Shay. This locomotive also has directional lighting, as well as a DCC compatible motor, of which I have seen 2 DCC Atlas Shays. They both run very well. Although this locomotive does require a hardwire decoder. This locomotive comes very nicely detailed and even has some microtrains couplers on it from the factory. Unfortunately, the far side isn't as detailed, but most of the time you're not going to be looking at that side. About 15 years ago, I purchased this locomotive for $200 at Modeler's Choice in Hamilton, Ontario. A little bit of background history on the Atlas Shay. This is a Class B 2-truck Shay. It was built in the 1920s, and it was used in many lumber, mining, quarry, and industrial railroads. In addition, there were also a few common carrier short lines and major railroad systems that utilized the locomotive. The Shay was really quite impressive as it was geared and was able to go up some very steep hills on very tight radiuses, pulling very many cars, which was impressive for a locomotive back then. As we can see, this particular Shay was oil fired and is very nicely detailed. In my personal running, I found this locomotive really nice with 1 or 2 log cars and even a short caboose. This is one of the nicest DC locomotives in my collection. Getting down to business here, I'm going to rate each aspect of it out of 10. For its quality of run, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It ran amazing, but it did stall on a few switches. It might just depend on which kind of switch you're using though. For this locomotive's detail and appearance, I think it's very nicely detailed, especially the pistons and the driving side. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. For a build quality, it is a very nice frame. It's not as simple as some split frame locomotives, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Its price point, now I did buy this 15 years ago, but I purchased it for about $200. Nowadays you can find them on the internet for about $400. Back in the day, I would definitely say it's worth it. Right now, I don't know if I'd be willing to put that amount down for this, but it is still a very nice locomotive. Would I buy this locomotive again? Yes, of course I would. This is an amazing locomotive. And would I suggest it to you viewers? Yes, this is an amazing locomotive. If you can find yourself a good quality one, great, you should definitely buy this. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to check the link in the description for the coupler adapters I sell on eBay, and happy model railroading.